Hello, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, comrades on the YouTube, to my family and the love of my life. Love of my life. She knows. Believe me, she knows. Hello, my love. Uh, cool fun fact here. My love is coming up to Idaho. May 13th and 14th, she'll be in travels there. Get there on the 14th. Hopefully, I'll be there around the same time. We're trying to coordinate that as a simultaneous arrival. And then we're going to stay with Uncle Bob for several days. I believe somewhere in the neighborhood of 5. And then Mama will travel back down to home in the high desert of SoCal, and I'll go back out on the road. So I'm not going to get home until middle of June. That's how it goes. But, Mama really hasn't been able to travel at all, really, since I've been gone. January 23, she hasn't done anything. So it's going to be good for her to be able to, get out and do a little bit of traveling, visit some family. We're going to go see a friend of hers that she grew up with in Michigan that actually lives in Caldwell, which is amazing. And we're going to see if we can't hook up with our Monster Jam brother Ryan Kirk, who lives in Minden. Meridian, right next to Boise. So anyway, we're going to do that and looking real forward to it. The last time I dropped a video, I was on Oregon State Highway 22. What a great place. I really enjoyed that run. I'm glad you went along with me. I know the video was a little bit long, but, it was just too good to not, televise, if you will, or record. I just love Oregon. And that western slope all the way to the coast is just stunning. Damn near the whole way up and down the Oregon coast, and in the west side of those mountains that are right there, man. It's just what a great place, beautiful place. So we were not sure exactly what I was hauling because I was on my way to Tillamook. And you always think of cheese, of course, or dairy products of some sort when you go to Tillamook. This is a dry load. And I'm thinking, dry load with cheese products? What could that be? Well, it was whey protein. W-H-E-Y. It was not the whey protein that bodybuilders use. It was the kind of whey protein the dude said to me, and I quote, "When we send this stuff overseas, it's usually used for baby formula." So it's a little less of a hit than the whey protein for, bodybuilders and, protein drinks that you might have for breakfast in the morning. So I was kind of taken back by that. I didn't think I was going to be hauling a dry load going to Tillamook. But it woke my Oregon faction up. Oh yeah, my Heagney Williams faction that's up there. Both the William brothers commented on it. Of course, Bino. Hey man, I'm on the other end of the 22, man. Come on up. Come visit. They stay in Lyon, Oregon, and that's another really cool place. It's up kind of by Detroit, but Detroit, Oregon. And but yeah, just a really cool place up there too. And then of course, Brother Tim reminds me that in McMinnville, I knew I'd heard of that place before, and I didn't know why. I wasn't sure I'd ever been there, and I don't think I have. But McMinnville is where the Spruce Goose is, from Howard. Oh, the plane guru from back in the 50s. So anyway, that was a really fun trip, really cool trip, and also we're keeping in mind the patriarch of the Heagney family. Is in the hospital, 92 years old, and he's not doing that great. So we're going to lift our spirits up, and send a good word and some good vibes his way. Hope he gets better. I really do hope he gets better. So we'll see what's on that, and do what you can to help us out with some positive vibe. That would be lovely. So once I got to Tillamook, I had to go back to Caldwell and get there that night. And I mean, that's a long run. So I was really hauling the mail to get there, and I did make it. And I had 12 minutes to spare on my clock when I got back into Caldwell. So the deal is that what I was told was, okay, when you get to Caldwell, drop that trailer with the whey protein on it. They were going to have another driver take that to wherever it was going. I don't know. And then you pick up this trailer that's going to Terrell, Texas, or Terrell, Texas. I'm still not positive on the pronunciation for that, but I think it's Terrell. So take it to Terrell, Texas, to a Walmart distribution center. Okay, fair enough. You can take it that night or in the morning, whatever works for you. Well, whatever worked for me was in the morning, because there was no way I was taking it that night, not with 12 minutes left. So I ended up hooking that trailer, and then I just stayed in the yard that night, which, not the most accommodating place in the world. Caldwell doesn't have showers. They don't have laundry. I think they're the only terminal in the entire Leonard's Express company that doesn't have those kind of accommodations. And it's really kind of a shame, because it would allow guys to stay there more. If we want to take a shower the next morning or that night or whatever, we've got to go to the Flying J truck stop. It's one exit up the road, so it's not a real big deal, but I'm guaranteed parking at the terminal. I'm not guaranteed parking at the truck stop, particularly if you get there anytime after probably 6 p.m. at that place. It's got a couple of 100 parking spots, if I'm not mistaken, 150 at least. But, anywhere in this country, you get there past 5 and it's a coin toss. So, anyway, I ended up just foregoing a shower for that one, and then I just went wherever I stayed. I don't remember where I stayed the first night. Oh, it was, I do too. I don't know why I said that, because I do remember very well. It was Rollins, and that's usually where I go when I leave Caldwell and have to take the 80 east till it just doesn't go anymore, or at least to Cheyenne. The 25 is where I ended up going there. Then I stay in Rollins, and that's a good 605-mile run, so it's a good day no matter where you're going. So I stayed in Rollins that first night, and I left Rollins the next morning, went down the 25, fueled up in Cheyenne, and kept going down the 25 to the 470 to the 70. When I got on the 70, it started snowing. And we're, at the end of April at this point. I believe it was the 28th of April. It's snowing. All right, so we're dealing with a little bit of snow, and then it just gets a little bit thicker and coming down a little harder, and then a little thicker, and then a little harder. And it was the gnarliest snowstorm I've been through all year. Unreal, man. I wasn't even expecting it. I thought it was going to be rain. Nah. It was snow, and it was coming down. Oh, unbelievable. So finally got out of that and got down. This is southeast Colorado now, and then we get into north central Texas. Maybe, I guess, northwest. It's the Panhandle. And got into that, and it was just like, oh my God. The sky was black. Oh my God, it was so black, and the clouds were so low. And if you'd been paying attention to weather at all, or even the news, you know all about the tornadoes that have been happening in the panhandle of Texas, all the way on up through really Ohio and Iowa, Nebraska. I mean, it has just been insane. And they had some tornadoes that were just ripping through that place. And so when I was looking at those clouds that were so low and so black, and to my east, a very good way to my east, so I wasn't too worried about it. Saw some little fingers coming out of the clouds there directly in front of me, because I was at the western edge of that storm cell. So I got a little bit worried about that, because I thought, oh boy, we'll have to see how this goes. Never saw a tornado drop though, and I was very glad for that. So, but anyway, so continued on in through Texas, and then eventually got into Terrell, Texas, to the Walmart there. Dropped my load there. It was great. Those folks were all over it, man. They did a really good job getting me unloaded. I think I was only there for a couple hours. Then I stayed there. You know, this is the next morning, and it was really foggy. I stayed in Terrell, Texas that night at a TA, bit of a foreign port for me. Stayed at a TA there, and it was foggy, real foggy. So I got to the place okay, as you well know, but fog was definitely a factor for traveling that morning. So I decided to stay there because I had a pickup later that afternoon at 1 p.m. and I was going to go there and park there and then go in when it was my time. But I decided to do it the other way around just because of the fog. So I stayed in Terrell, Texas until about noon, 11:30, because it was about 11:30. It was about an hour's drive over to Grand Prairie at that time of day. So worked out well though. I cruised over there to Grand Prairie, and picked up that load, which is the load I have on my back right now. It's chicken strips and chicken nuggets and this kind of thing for the Chili's restaurant chain. And I'm currently in Staunton, Virginia, running on recaps, man. And I tell you, that recaps is hard. Sometimes it's great if everything's scheduled well on the dispatch end and my end. It can really be pretty cool to just keep rolling, but it can also get real tight. I mean, I got here today with 17 minutes to spare where I'm at right now. I only started the day with 9.5 hours. So it was pretty tight. I only ran 530 miles today. I mean, the day before that I did 630 miles, which is what I usually like to do. So I still have 275 miles to go to get to my delivery, and I have to be at my delivery at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I stopped around 2:15 Eastern time, which is where I am now in Staunton, Virginia. I'm going to have to leave here about midnight and try and get down there. Hopefully I get down there by 5. In that time of night, I shouldn't have any traffic issues except for construction. And I haven't really, there's really no way for me to know that until I run into it. So all I can do is really hope for the best. I'm starting tomorrow with 7.5 hours. That's all I've got to get down there, and it's the first of its 5-hour run. So I'll get myself down there, go into sleeper mode, and stop my clock. If I can stop my clock for 2 hours, which I will do, I'll make sure I do, then my that 7.5 hours, once I get there, whatever's left stops. It just stops. It goes on a pause for 2 hours. And so for that 2 hours, I'll be at my delivery location, which is in Elkton, Maryland, right on the border of Delaware. And after I'm done there, I'm going to go to the Elkton, Maryland Pilot or Flying J, whichever one it is, and do a 34-hour reset. I need that badly. That way I have just less stress when I come back across the country, and I'm going to do a dole load out of our Delaware facility. A really cool place, man. They're in the Port of Delaware, and I've only been there once, but I really dig it. It's a really cool place, man. They've got quite an operation going there. You can look back in the discography and you can see a video that I did from Delaware. I think it was titled "Yes, We Have No Bananas," because that's what I was hauling out of there. And I very well could be hauling bananas out of there again. However, I could be hauling any South American fruit: mango, papaya, banana, and whatever else would come out of South America. So looking really forward to that, actually. But I'll be on the East Coast, so right up against the Atlantic, for that matter. And then I got to come all the way back. I don't know where it's going. I don't know where it really is going, but I need to work my way back across the country, obviously, and I don't want to do it on recaps the whole way. You know what I mean? So at least this way, I'll pick that load up on Saturday morning, and then when recaps start again later on, if I'm doing recaps, it'll start out with long days. Because as soon as I get that load in Delaware, I'm going to go a long ways before I stop. It'll be a 10 or 11 hour day for me. And I'll just keep doing 10 or 11 hour days until I deliver. The delivery days and pickup days are always the shortest because you're stuck at a building, waiting to get loaded or unloaded. Rarely do I drop and hook, but it looks like, and hopefully I will be doing that in Delaware. So that basically handles what I've been doing. I got a couple of highlights. One of them is this: so many white-winged dove. I enjoy hunting dove, and they're delicious, and my wife loves it too. And we have mourning doves in the Antelope Valley where I stay, and I've gone hunting a few times, but man, the amount of white-winged doves that were in southeast Colorado and down through Texas was amazing. I couldn't believe how many of those doves that I saw, so I had to make that point to my partner Bo. And then the other thing is when I was leaving Texas to come this way, I took a 30-minute break at a resteria in Arkansas. And as I'm in Arkansas, I was in obviously a parking spot, and I was cleaning my mirrors and stuff like that, and just getting ready to get back on the road. And a bus pulls up on my right and hits the parking spot on my right. And a bunch of Latino cats got off that bus and went to the bathroom and had a smoke or whatever they were doing. And they all climbed back on the bus, and by that time I was having my lunch on my bunk. But I could see out the front windshield. And when I was, the bus got turned around me and took off and had Texas plates on it. So I saw my one and only bona fide busload of immigrants heading somewhere, going to either Chicago, New York, or Washington, D.C. We were west of the 55, so they could have gotten on the 55 off of I-40 and headed up towards Chicago. But they were going, I'm sure, to one of those three places. A whole busload of them. So, shout out to Texas. Anyway, swiveling's not tremendous here. I'm in Staunton, Virginia. I don't know Roanoke's not too terrible far away, but this isn't a really bad place. It's really not. It's a pretty cool place, actually. I've been here before in Staunton on my way up to Pennsylvania. Actually, on my way back from Pennsylvania. So, not a bad place. Pretty cool little spot, actually. Tucked away in the trees and stuff. So, anyway, swivel's not too bad, but you do know who love you. Sorry it's been long. We're creeping up on 20 minutes, but I had a lot of info to throw at you. I appreciate it. If you've stayed this long, why not hit the like button? I mean, you don't have to. You do not have to. But it'd be nifty if you did. Welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm appreciating that. We're almost to 500. Wouldn't mind seeing that. And we do thank you for coming along. You do know who love you. It's your boy. It's Clydesdale. We're doing Leonard's Express, taking some chicken strips to Elkton, Maryland, and then we're taking the 34, baby. We love it. Thanks for coming along. Take care of yourself. Do something nice for somebody. Peace.